The IMF and the World Bank were founded in the American city of Bretton Woods under the new global financial system to enslave the whole world in the shackle of economic slavery. 78 years have passed since the day July 22, 1944. Under this system, nations around the world become entangled in interest-bearing loans. They were constantly exploited and the poor sank deeper and deeper into the swamp of interest. But in all such nations came countless leaders from slavery to slavery. But all of them, in spite of this moneylender slavery, always thought their nation to fight to get out of the mire of debt and to cross this river of misery with courage and self-control. In this modern history, Pakistan is perhaps the only unfortunate nation that a leader called a beggar with full courage and boldness. I don't know of anyone in Pakistan who has ever insulted a beggar by saying, "Oi Bhikari." The fear of Allah worth in the hearts of Muslims is so great because of this verse of Surah Az-Zu'a. Do not shake the beggar. So much so that even the most arrogant person forgives the beggar. In a soft language, use words like the messenger of Allah, may Allah bless him and grant him peace, said to help the three wretched people with honor and respect. The one who is reduced to poverty and starvation, the one who has gone home in severe debt, or the one who is stuck in compulsive bloodshed. These three has also been removed from the list of beggars by the Holy Prophet about whom you said, on the day of resurrection, there will be a stain of questioning on their faces. Sahih Bukhari. The debtor is not forced to beg, he borrows on the promise to pay for his needs. What great businessman, industrialist, or landowner in the world has not taken a loan in today's modern world? Investment conferences are held all over the world. Banks hold seminars and workshops in every country to encourage industrialists to invest their capital. They are introduced to the lucrative benefits of borrowing. But to date, I have not been able to find a single conference in any country entitled Bigger Conference. In modern time, a loan is given only to a person who has the ability and status to repay it. Its status is determined by scrutiny. This is called collateral in the language of banking. That is the property of the debtor which is mortgaged by the institution on the condition that in case of non-payment of the debt it should be confiscated. Whether it's a worldwide debt or an individual debt, the value of his mortgage property is always higher than that debt. Institutions such as the IMF, World Bank, Asian Bank, or Paris Club lend as much to countries. It is much less than the annual GDP of these countries. GDP means the agriculture and industrial output of a country. Pakistan's total debt is 87% of its annual agriculture and industrial production, 56%. That is, the nation is still 22% of the total debt, 44% product more annual richer. To ridicule such a nation as a whole is to say that beggars are not choosers. In fact, it is an insult never given to any nation in human history by an of its leader. That is why the global interest mafia has created this global interest financial system to enslave the nations of the world economically. This mafia has never abused any indebted nation in such a big way. The biggest rulers have made a Pakistan indebted to the tune of Rs 179,070. I can swear that this loan did not involve the will and intention of a single Pakistani. You borrowed for your political needs. The revelations in John Perkins' book Confession of an Economic Hitman are enough to unmask the leaders. The man was an economic ambassador for the IMF and the World Bank. He used to persuade the rulers to enslave their people in debts. He writes that we used to get the rulers into debt by giving them large structural loans such as motorway, modern airport, metro orient train, etc. Mir Nawaz Sharif built the motorway in Islamabad in 1997. Even today, millions of hungry and destitute people on both sides are deprived of water, electricity, education, and health. These are the proud poor who grow crops and pay off the debts of the rulers. These poor people are actually giving hands that are constantly being given to this nation. And the rulers are in fact the beggars who for their political maneuvering plunge the poor into the mire of side debts. A poor man who earns 2 meals a day with dignity leave the loan car in his house and say, "That bigger man, you have no chance to grab this car," and cut off his stomach and pay off his debt. In fact, the IMF and the World Bank have long wanted to insult this nation. But I can't say out of fear, the British rulers considered the Muslims of the subcontinent as big. But they did not say. Iqbal wrote while revealing his mentality. The traitors of the homeland call it Brahman. The British consider Muslims as beggars. The mockery of begging to the Muslims, which the British kept thinking, but did not dare to give, international financial institutions continue to understand but could not pay.